Okay, who can tell me what this is? Hint, hint. 2 plugs. Hey guys, Anthony, 4x4 diesel. These plugs goes on the common rail, right? That one plugs onto the sensor instead of the plug it on. And the plug plugs onto here. All right. Yeah, TUNIT, it's a chip, right? It is a type, there's a number of different chips. This one plugs onto the common rail, so it would seem fairly obvious that it only really messes with fuel rail pressure, okay? Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying this is the worst type of chip and that other types of chips like Steinbauer and whatever, because they plug in your injectors, are okay. What I'm gonna say is, #1 cause of cracked pistons, chips, tunes, remaps, tunes, whatever you wanna call it, mate, you know, whatever you wanna call it. That's what it is, okay? The engines are maxed out. I've told you before, I'll say it again, chips are for dips, okay? We don't even use chips for dips. I reckon biscuits like rice crackers, you know, the seaweed ones, cicada, you know, that's for dips, you know, with your nice avocado, the proper one, you know, a bello with the proper avocado, 97% real actual avocado, and the rest is a bit of tomato and that in there as well. Anyway, there's your biscuits and dips. Chips are chips, but not this sort of chips, you know. Fish and chips, no good for you. This sort of chip, no good for your vehicle. So don't put one on there and get it off if you have got one. Why? Because this vehicle, it had one on there for a little while. It's just a little short wheelbase 150 Prado with only 130,000 kilometers. And guess what? Poof, cracked piston. And why does it happen at 130? It happens at 130 because it's got a chip on it, okay? Simple as that. We've seen it enough times. We've heard it enough times. People with the remaps and whatever. We had another one, you know, the week before, the week after, whatever. It's like one after the other with a, it had a remap, you know? I mean, it doesn't matter who did it. Just Autos did it, whatever. And it wasn't done long before it went poof, right? The injectors weren't done long either, but it was all overdue, so maybe it was just going to happen anyway. But look, at the end of the day, way too many coincidences from what we see and hear, being in the industry, specialising on Prados and 1kds. I can tell you categorically that the information I receive leads me to believe that chips, tunes and remaps, and look, even some of the tuners that I speak to, they said, oh, you know, no, she'll be right, mate, she'll be right. And then, going back years ago, conversations from many years ago, didn't take long, where they said, oh, I think you might be right. You know, I got 2 in here this week with cracked pistons that I did remaps on. No more tuning 1kds. Well, anyway, obviously it's a small engine, it's a diesel, and they're pretty well maxed out. I'm not going to keep repeating myself too much, but chips for dips. This one's a cheap chip. Who wants a chip? How much? Let's have a little auction on it, right? So it's easy to install. It's hard to get to the plug, but you just plug it in and Bob's your uncle, right? I don't know much about him, but let's have a look. There's a little, what's that, a trim pot or something there, right? So that red thing that we won't focus on, but I reckon you can turn that up and down. I'd have to get a magnifying glass, but I reckon you can crank it up and down, right? So there you go, there's some fun for you. Let's have a little auction here. I'll send it to anywhere in Australia. Who wants it? Who's going to risk it for the biscuit? You need to go faster. Well, this will be the cheapest chips you can get. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you liked it. Just a reminder, chips are for dips, and you know, that's my recommendation. Do the maintenance, do the brand new genuine injectors only. There's a number of contributors that you can get a cracked piston without one of these, but I'll tell you what, this is by far the #1 cause. Chips, tunes, remaps. The next one's old flogged injectors. Do the maintenance right, and you'll be in the group of people that have minimal, if any, problems whatsoever. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe, turn the bell on, and catch you on the next video. See ya. Look forward to the bidding